So students, now let us see about a new chapter which is also very simple, and this is in connection with the last chapter in which we have seen what is arithmetic mean, median and mode. Then also we have seen about quartiles, deciles and percentiles. Now let us see the topic of, that is the chapter measures of dispersion. Measures of dispersion. Okay. So in this chapter we will see different topics, but among these one topic which will come at the end of the chapter is of very much important for exam point of view, because in examination always one question comes there of 4 to 5 marks. So now the topics, which are the topics? These are totally based on the concept of the last chapter. Range. Range is also very simple, and rarely the question may come from this topic, but the concept, use of the concept of the range will come in further study. So range is what? If we are given ungrouped data, suppose 5, 7, 9, 3, 4, 2, etc., then the range is the difference between the highest value and the lowest value. So here you can see that the highest value is 9, okay, and the lowest value is 2. So the range will be 9 minus 2, that means this is equal to 7. So it is very simple, you can identify it very easily. If we are given group data, that means if we are given a classified interval, say 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, and corresponding frequencies are say 2, 3, 5, 9, then here these values represent the values of x. So to find out the range for this, find out the highest value of the highest class. That means here it is 20, and the lowest value of the lowest class is 0. So our range in this case will be 20 minus 0, and this is equal to 20. So you can find out range in this case very easily. Okay. So no need to see further more in this case. Now let us see about quartile deviations. Quartile deviations. Actually, deviation means what? Deviation means that in the last chapter, while finding mean, median, mode like this, we have observed to find out xi minus x like this. So this is nothing but a deviation. Deviation means from fixed value. Suppose we consider this as x bar, mean. That means all the values whichever we are given, say x1, x2, x3, the differences with these numbers with x bar are known as deviations. Here we want to see special type of deviations, that means quartile deviations. And quartile deviations, that means we need to find out the deviations just like q1, q2, q3 quartiles. And we have already seen the procedure for ungrouped data, for simple frequency distribution and for grouped frequency distribution, how to find out first quartile, second quartile and third quartile. Second quartile Q2, we know that it is exactly equal to median. Okay. So here quartile deviation we simply denote this by Q dot D dot, and this is nothing but Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. So here we will require to find out Q1 and Q3, and then we can find out quartile deviation very easily. Then the question of finding coefficient of quartile range. Coefficient of quartile range, and this can be find out as Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. It is also very simple. You can remember this very easily. Okay, and let us see one example. Suppose we are given the data. Consider the following data. Following data 6, 8, 10, 4, 20, 18, 16, 14, 12 and 10. Then the question is that find quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation and the coefficient of quartile deviation. So here in the solution process, this is the ungrouped data. As you can see, we want to find out quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviations. That means in both these cases we will require to find out Q1 and Q3. Okay. So here to find out this one for ungrouped data, we rearrange the data in increasing order. So as we can get, the lowest number is 4, then 6, after that it will come 8, then it will come 10, 2 times 10, then it will come 12, 14, 16, 18 and 20. So here we will find out the number of data, small n. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. 10 data is there. So what will we do? To find out Q1, we were knowing that we were finding capital N equal to small n into k by 4. We are dividing this by 4 as we know. Here k equal to 1 because first quartile is there, and n equal to 10. So 10 into 1 divided by 4. So what is this? This is nothing but 2.5. So this is a non-integer. It is not an integer. Therefore, the Q1 will be the value at the next integer after 2 point, the value of x which lies at the place of the next integer after 2.5. So after 2.5 the integer is 3. So we will find out the value at the third place. So and it is 8. So Q1 is 8. You can see. Then for Q3, we will find out Q3. Q3 we have n into k by 4. That means n is 10 here. K is 3 because Q3 is there. So k is 3 divided by 4. So what is this? This is nothing but 30 by 4. So it is 7.5. Okay. So it is again non-integer. And therefore the value of x will lies at the next integer after 7.5. That means at 8th place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. It is 16. Okay? 16. So here we have obtained Q1 and Q3. And therefore our quartile deviation, therefore you must put this sign, equal to Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. Q3 is 16 and Q1 is 8. 16 minus 8 by 2. So this is 8 by 2, that is 4. And the coefficient of quartile deviation is nothing but Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. So Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. So it is 16 minus 8 divided by 16 plus 8. And this you can find out very easily. And you can do this yourself. So we can find out quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile range or quartile deviation by using this formula. Next example, let us see. For the following information, information. Find the quartile deviation and its coefficient. So the data is given as weight and your number of children. So weights are 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and number of children are 8, 14, 15, 13, 19, 23, 17. So here, to find out quartile deviation and its coefficient, we require to find out Q1 and Q3. Okay. So in the solution process, first of all, observe the data. It is a simple frequency distribution, and we have already seen how to find out Q1 and Q3 for simple frequency distribution. For that, we require to find out cumulative frequency. Okay. So we will have to prepare the table X and F. X has 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. The problem is very simple, no doubt. It will take long space to solve the problem, but nothing is difficult there. So 8, 14, 15, 13, 19, 23, 17. Then we will find out cumulative frequency. Here we will require to find out cumulative frequency. Okay. So cumulative frequency is what? Here we will write down 8. Then 14 plus 8 is 22. 22 plus 15 is 37. 37 plus 13 is 50. 50 plus 19 is 69. 69 plus 23. What is this? 70 plus 20. 92. And 92 plus 17 is 7 plus 9. 109. You can see. So this is the cumulative frequency. Now we want to find out Q1 and Q3. So here we will find out capital N. Capital N means total frequency. Total of these one. Both are same thing. 109. Okay. So for Q1, we will have to find out capital N into K by 4. Capital N is 109. K is small k is 1 because Q1 is there. Because when we are finding QK, then we use K over here. So 1 divided by 4. So if we divide this 109 by 4, then we will get 27.25. So here, cumulative Q1 can be obtained by using the fact that find out CF just greater than 27.25. And we can see that after 27.25, the CF is 37. So therefore, CF just greater than 27.25 is 37. And therefore, Q1 we have is corresponding value of X, and it is 17. You can see. Okay. Again, for Q3, what will we do? We will use the same fact. Capital N into K by 4. Capital N is 109. K is 3 divided by 4. So, if we find out the number, then we will get 81.75. So, therefore, here again we will find out cumulative frequency just greater than 81.75 is, what is this? You can see from this column. After 81.75 it is 92. And therefore we have Q3 equal to the corresponding value of X, and it is 21. Okay. So we have obtained Q1 and Q3, and then you can find out quartile deviation by using Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2 by using this fact, and coefficient of quartile deviation as Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1, and this you can do yourself because this is very much very simple. Okay, so quartile deviations we can find out very easily. After then, oh, after then, we will see another topic from the same chapter. Actually, it is also the questions from this topic. Quartile deviations can also be asked rarely, but if it is asked in objective type or in another form, in any other form, then you must be able to solve the problems because these are very simple and nothing is difficult. Now let us see about mean deviation. Deviation word. When deviation word comes, then this shows that difference, some difference is there. So here mean deviation is obtained as 1 upon n sigma xi minus x bar. X bar is the mean. X bar is the mean, and the deviations of all other observations which are given to us bit mean x bar. Here modulus sign is substituted because we want some actual number, that means each number will become positive, because sometimes these observations may be less than x bar, then it will become negative, and then we are dividing the whole summation by small n, and this is for ungrouped data. If it is for group data, then we can find out fi into xi minus x bar. Okay, fi, and capital N is sigma fi. We already know this one, total frequency, and also the formula for frequency distributions are very easy to remember, because if you know the formula for ungrouped data, then wherever is x involved, there you will have to simply multiply this one by this quantity by f, that means frequency. You will get the formula for frequency distribution. Okay, so here is the formula for this one. So suppose we are given the data, say ungrouped data, say 2, 3, 5, 7, 3. This is the ungrouped data. Say I have considered small simple numbers. So to find out mean deviation, first of all we find out x bar. X bar means the total of this one, 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 3 divided by total number of data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is the total of this one? 3 plus 2, 5 plus 5, 10. 10 plus 7, 17 plus 3, 20, 20 by 5. So this is 4. And therefore we will find out xi minus x bar. So xi, here I have used column. Xi minus x bar means 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4, that means minus 2. 3 minus 4, that means minus 1. 5 minus 4, that means 1. 7 minus 4 means 3. 3 minus 4 means minus 1. So here you can see that there are some variations which are in negative form and some are in positive form. Therefore, we will find out modulus of xi minus x bar to find out mean deviation. So all these numbers are now positive, and their total is 2 plus 1 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 3 7 plus 1 8, and therefore mean deviation for this one is 1 upon n. N is 5, and into sigma xi minus modulus xi minus x bar, so 8 by 5. So you can find out this value very easily. Similarly, if you are given frequency distribution, then also you can find out x bar. X bar you can find out by using the simple formula sigma fi xi divided by capital N. Then find out xi minus x bar by using this table, or you can construct the table. Okay, so mean deviation is very much easy to find out. Are you clear with this? Okay, now let us see the important topic from which always one question comes in your examination. Okay, and this is nothing but standard deviation. Standard deviation, simply we denote this by SB. Okay, so standard deviation is very simple to find out. Simply we require to remember one formula, and the formula for we will see first the formula for ungrouped data. Ungrouped data. So the formula is we will denote standard deviation by sigma. Sigma, the notation Greek letter sigma. This is nothing but 1 upon n sigma xi minus x bar whole square whole raised to 1/2. So you can see the deviations are here and their square values are there, and their addition is divided by n, and then its square root is taken. So this is the standard deviation, and x bar is the mean. You know very well. Mean means what? 1 upon n into sigma xi, total of x1, x2, x3, and then divide this by total number of the data. Okay, are you clear with this? Now, first of all, we will look at the formula only, then we will apply how to solve the problems by using these formulas. This standard deviation, sometimes also known as root mean square. Root mean square. So if you are asked to find out root mean square of the data, then you don't get confused, because this is same thing as that of standard deviation. Both are same. Here root means square. You can see that square root is taken. Mean means this is divided by n, and square means the mean of the squares have been taken. So it is its name. Another name is root mean square. Okay. So here one more thing you should remember, that the simplified formula for this one is 1 upon n sigma xi square minus x bar square. So sometimes if the numbers are larger, bigger numbers are given, then the calculations becomes complicated. Yes, no doubt, by using calci we can do it, but here we want to get the practice to find out the solutions or to find out the calculations manually. So if we are doing manually, then our process will become fast. And to do the fast process, here in this simplified formula we can use 1 upon n, because here we need to get xi minus x bar for each number, and if x bar is in non-integer form, then it takes time. Every time we will have to use the calci to find out the difference xi minus x bar. Suppose x bar equal to 15.75 and x1 is say 5, then 5 minus 15.75, x2 is say 9,